time. Time. So if you think about the outermost layer of the onion, that is the easiest one to sort of have as a defense to why we can't take action, because I've run out of time. And we can actually break this up in three ways, Ben. First of all, we can break it up as a macro. All right. So think about it as this is a busy season for me. I could be promoted. I could be moving interstate. I could have just had a baby. I could have had any season that suggests right now is too busy for me to actually do something, Ben. If you can relate to that, busy is the best time to start, because it's based on the premise that you foresee that in some point in the future you were never going to be busy. And if you think about that, it's a bit of a fallacy that we think, well, okay, I'm in this busy season, I'm not going to be busy going forward, because we are in a society that's getting busier and busier, and quite often we use it as a badge of honor. How are you going? I'm busy, right? Busy is the best time to actually get support and actually take action, because if you can do it when you're in busy season, when you get to that time when it's not so busy, well, you know what to do, because when it gets busy again, you've actually got the lane, the tracks that have already been laid for you to know what to do.
Yeah, have a look at the busy people in your life. Have a look at the people who are achieving, who are doing great things that are highly productive. Study them. You can also see it in, obviously in the public view as well. So there's those people who are just getting on with it. I mean, it's amazing. They might be running a company, but they've also got time for their charity work. They've also got time for exercise and that type of thing. And then just also have a look at people around you who are just doing things that impress you around that, and you'll just see that they are busy people, but they're not letting busy be that sort of determinant to not take action. They're just basically finding a way to be able to achieve that. So that's part of that sort of breaking through. They're not sort of saying, all right, because I'm too busy, I don't have the ability to do that. And I think that is definitely an excellent takeaway.
So that's at the macro level.
Yep.
Again, with time, there's also the micro level. So that's when someone says, look, I don't have any time in the day. And you can never really pull someone's phone off them when they say that, Ben, and go through the little screen time analyzer and actually see how much time they're spending on the certain apps. For some people, like you and I, we spend a bit of time on AFL.com. Other people spend it on Instagram. Other people spend it on Pinterest. Whatever app of choice is, you are making a choice at that point in time to spend your time doing that over something else. But that's very difficult to bring that up for someone. But I guess the challenge is, if you have a spouse or a partner or a significant other that says that to you, you might be able to gently nudge them and say, hey, listen, let's go through that exercise and see how much time you do spend, because everyone has the same 24 hours. We all have the same 24 hours. It's about how we allocate it, right? So if you think about, there are people that are achieving more with their time than us with the same time frame. It's what are the actions that they're actually doing to do that. So, and it's also identifying it is just a smokescreen. It is a reason for us to avoid dropping our status by making the wrong decision, by bringing something up that actually helps us blame something else. But the idea here is, if you take action and you do it correctly, and if you take the right advice, you then get to cut 90% of what's not working. If you spend more than you earn, if you allocate money towards things that are not productive for what you want to do, if there's opportunities, if you have a vision for where you want to go and what you want to do, that vision might help you get super, super focused and cut the things out of your budget that you don't need, and also cut the things out of your life that are providing barriers and time wasters, where you could be spending more time doing the things that matter. So that's the second way that we can tackle the time issue, Ben.
Yeah, look, again, I'll bring it into context. How much time in looking at your phone and looking at whatever it is, shorts or TikTok or whatever you're spending your time looking at, that you're impressed with these human feats or these funny moments? How much is it adding to your life? How much is it improving your ability to make an impact and live a purposeful life? Because we can all be impressed with it, and make no mistake, I can sit there and watch a piece of material being made into some incredible bit of art, And it's very impressive. But I can also sit back and say, well, what am I doing about working on me and doing all the things that I need to do to be able to break through and get the results that I'm looking for? And I think if you're honest with yourself, which is coming back to your point, is that, I'm spending like 2 hours a week or 4 hours a week just watching, these feeds of rubbish or, some social interaction or some social experiment, which still might be a train wreck. But really, what is it adding to my life? Does it make me feel better that I'm not that train wreck of that relationship breakup? Seriously, the world is a big oyster out there. Get out there and enjoy it and, do other things, because that's the big part for me. I always make sure that if I'm fall into that trap, I'm like, all right, what am I going to do to get some extra learning, to get some extra development, to get some extra knowledge and information? And that's a big message that I give to anyone who wants to, again, break through and take action.
To prove that we're humans too, Ben, if you had have looked at my analysis of time on screen, let's say 6 months ago, I reckon you would have found I had like everyone, Ben, I was susceptible to apps that were not productive. I was just a flaky consumer.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a look at it now, you'll find I spend most of my time on my phone in the podcast app, in the Audible app. And I spend an above average amount of time on YouTube. YouTube is my social media of choice because I'm a student of life, and I find the people that I like to follow provide a lot of really great content for free. And if you think about, the previous generation said, I want to make, if you've ever said, I want to make the next generation's life better, and then realized that you actually can do that, right? Because the thing is, if we have a look at Warren, we go, oh, why didn't Uncle Warren, that is, make more money? It's because he never had himself. He never had himself. He only had Benjamin Graham, whereas we've got all of the information from Warren Buffett and all of the people that have learned from him, who then provide a platform that we can learn. So therefore, the next generation should do it faster, quicker, better than what you and I have done, Ben. We never had podcasts when we were first starting. So the people listening to this podcast, and hopefully some of the content we're talking about today is groundbreaking for them to understand. But if you've said, I don't have time in my day, we would just say that that's potentially a smokescreen for inaction, so that you don't drop your status by having to make a decision. So there we go. Time, we've covered macro. It's a busy season. Micro is I don't have time of the day. And then the third one here under time, which is circumstantial, it's called the when-then fallacy. So it goes something like this, Ben. When I have time, then I will start. When I have abs, then I'll go to the gym. When I start losing weight, then I will eat better. It's a fallacy. It's a flipped sequence. It's actually logically not correct to actually try and see them in that order, because some of these things require you to actually flip it and go, I don't have money, therefore I should take action. I don't have time, therefore I should put these things in place. So it's called the when-then fallacy under time, Ben, and it's important that we identify it.
Look, and putting in the context of a lot of the clients that we get to work with and so forth, I mean, the ones who do take action find a way to that being busy. So they're not using, we're just going to have it, we're just going to start our family first, or we're just going to get that out of the way, or we're just going to wait till the kids finish school and then we'll have a little bit of extra money. They still find a way, the ones who make a significant difference to their personal financial position, they don't have that mindset. They don't believe that way. And so that's another little sort of reach out when you have this sort of headspace of planning to become and sequencing. They're trying to find a way through. They're not just sort of saying, it's impossible, I can't find that way through.
So folks, as you're listening to this, I wonder if you just do a little audit in your mind to see if, okay, are any of these popping up for you? Do you have the fear of messing up? And some of these things act as beautiful alibis for you to actually not take action. Because here's the deal, time is the easy one. That's the first layer of the onion, right? So if some of you have listened to that and gone, okay, makes sense that the busy season is the best time to actually get some support and move forward. And there is a way for me to find time in my day, and because other people are achieving more with the same 24 hours. And then we realize that the when then is actually just a fallacy and it's broken. And so we go, great, time is no longer the barrier for me taking action, well, then what happens is once we've peeled that layer of the onion back, the next layer pops up.